Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, I'm going to be ranking from worst to best all live-action Batman actors. So I have reviewed The Batman, and I have ranked every single movie that Batman's been in on the channel now. Go check it out, it'll be in the description, it'll be everywhere. This is only for the live-action versions of Batman. If I was doing everyone who's ever voiced Batman, this video is going to be ridiculously long. However, before we start, I do want to give a massive shout out to Kevin Conroy, aka the master of Batman, man. He is just goated as Batman for me, from the animated series, from the movies, and of course the Arkham games, some of my favourite games of all time. Big up Kevin Conroy. But now, let's start the list. Starting at the bottom, we have George Clooney. No disrespect to George Clooney, he's a really sick actor, but he is not Batman. I know the movie he's in is really cheesy, back credit card, all in one-liners, there's a lot of craziness, but even when I was a child and I saw this movie, I was like, who is this imposter? Up to this point, I loved Michael Keaton's version of Batman, even though it kind of scared the crap out of me how scary those movies were. I was really, really young. In fact, when they first came out, I wasn't even born, mate. But coming from the real darkness into back credit cards, it does not work for me personally. I still kind of like Batman and Robin. I'm just keeping it real. I said in a ranking, like, I can watch it, and I know it's so bad, it's kind of good, but George Clooney is not for me. Next up is Adam West. The reason I put him above Clooney is because the actual movies he's in, they're all cheesy and ridiculous, and it kind of works. Even though I don't like these versions of Batman and these movies and the show and stuff, I don't like it. I can see why people liked Adam West as Batman in this time period. And again, I know it's not fair. George Clooney only had one movie, but that is something that kind of hurts him out. I don't know. It's just my opinion. Am I going crazy? Or to be honest, guys, let me know your list down below. That'd be amazing. But for me, I think Adam West is a little bit better than George Clooney. Next up is Val Kilmer. I kind of wish that Val Kilmer done Batman and Robin. Again, I'm sorry, George Clooney. It feels like I'm bashing him. I'm not. I'm just keeping it real. He done an okay job. He kind of kept it dark and the mystery side of Batman. He tried his best. He done okay, but there is still chicks dig the car. That was like the downward spiral into basically losing Batman for like a decade, mate. Even longer than that, to be honest. They kind of killed it off in the next movie, but Val Kilmer does his best. He's trying his best. I do appreciate what he's doing with Batman. He's not bad. He's not great. For me, anyway, personally, he's like somewhere in the middle. Next up is Michael Keaton. For the longest time ever, this was my Batman. Like, in the Batman movie, I thought he was great, man, and Joker was really good, but then in Batman Returns, I was like, whoa, this is the Batman. I always liked his version of Batman so much. I think his Bruce Wayne was a little bit, not on the weak side, but it was definitely weaker than his version of Batman. You'll see in the list later on as we get to the top 3, which is literally coming up after this one. He had the darkness, he had the emotions, man. Michael Keaton is so sick, absolutely goated as Batman. I love him as Batman. Fully respect him as Batman. Can't get enough of him, and I'm so glad. At the time of this recording, it's kind of a rumour, but apparently he's going to be in the new Flash movie. Big up Michael Keaton. Next up is Ben Affleck. I've said this on record numerous times. I love Ben Affleck as Batman, and even more as Bruce Wayne. He's like depressed, nasty, gritty. He's got hatred inside him. He hates Superman. The fact that this one person can wipe out the planet, and he's taking it upon himself to stop him. And then we get even more like character progression when it goes into Justice League, Zack Snyder's one. Not the Joss Whedon one. I'll be honest, I'm really sad that we're probably never going to see Ben Affleck as Batman again. I mean, a lot of people sadly remember him from like Justice League. Oh mate, he's so bad in that film. And then the real Zack Snyder version. You see progression, it makes sense, and not to mention, in Batman v Superman, just the most goated Batman scene, the warehouse scene. Everyone loves it, man. It's been viewed on YouTube billions of times, probably. It is just absolutely goated, mate. And man, Ben Affleck as Batman, for me, he killed it. Next up is Robert Pattinson. I feel like a disgrace because 3 years ago I actually went on camera and said, I'm really not sure. I can't see him as like Batman. It just doesn't work for me. And in my defense, at that time, I only knew him from the obviously god-awful Twilight movies and Harry Potter, which he weren't like in it that much. But then a few movies later, I saw like Tenet, and he was the best character in Tenet, man. The Lighthouse is like his absolute acting flex, and at the time of this recording, I saw The Batman yesterday, and what a movie. I gave it 10 out of 10. He is the Batman. He is so dark in this movie, and props obviously to the director and stuff, but they made him an actual scary Batman. Like, if you were a villain and you saw that Batman, you would crap crap yourself, mate. I don't know if we're ever gonna get like a Batman 2 or at least another like kind of Batman universe where we get Robert Pattinson as Batman again. I am so down for it, man. I apologize for being wrong. I always say if I'm wrong, man, Robert Pattinson, he's the Batman. And the best is Christian Bale. Again, this is just my useless nerd opinion, but Bale, man, he's just too good. Everything from him starting out as the billionaire to going into like the ninja training to becoming the Batman and progression through 3 films, man, Christian Bale is so sick. I personally love what he does with the voice. I also really like, there's kind of like 3 versions of Bruce Wayne in this movie. You've got the Batman, and then you've got Bruce Wayne when he's normal and he's speaking to Alfred, and then you see the version that he portrays to everyone. That's the real mask. You know, the billionaire, he's giving out money, he's driving the Lambos, he's getting the women, he's getting wasted, falling in little bits of water. I love it. Just everything about Christian Bale as the Batman. He seems scary, he seems empathetic, he's got the emotional range, man. Christian Bale, for me, I don't think there's going to be a better live-action version of Batman for a very, very long time. I'll be fair, Robert Pattinson, he's like just under, bro, and he's only had 1 movie. That's how good I personally thought Robert Pattinson was. If he gets another 2-3 films, this could be a different tier list, yo, but for now, Bale, you're the Batman. Ladies and gentlemen, do you agree with my list? Do you think I'm absolutely tripping, yo? And again, of course, I know there's so many voice actors, but I ain't going through them. This is live action only. But again, big up Kevin Conroy. You are also the Batman. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all you guys, and I'll see you in a bit.